I like how YouTube does this. If you go to my channel and click on the About tab, it'll tell you that it was created on May 12th, 2017. It can be hard to believe sometimes, but that was exactly 3 years ago today, and just look at what exists here. We have this area with over 160 videos that have all been seen by hundreds of thousands of people, most of which are about completely different topics. Each one of those has a comment section with these great discussions. I am grateful for this community. If you go to any one of those comment sections, you'll find debates, personal stories, jokes, criticisms, opinions. Maybe I'm making too much of it, but I just feel like every video that I release turns into something special. And now that this channel contains all of that over 160 times, it's just amazing. Considering that's the product to look back on, after 3 years of work, it's been more than worth it. Rather than subscriber milestones, view count, video numbers, or whatever else, I've chosen on this channel to celebrate these anniversaries. Partially because they're not dependent on anything, they're going to keep coming no matter what, with the same amount of space between them. Plus, I feel like it's the thing that we can collectively most relate to, because trust me, this celebration is not all about me. If you're someone who subscribes to the channel, watches the videos, leaves comments, participates in any way, I need to thank you. Especially if you've been doing it from the beginning. You've been helping make all of this possible, and honestly, I don't know where I would be otherwise. I would say give yourself a round of applause, but that's silly. Instead, you can simply nod your head a little bit and accept the gratitude. So again, thank you. Now that that part's over, you've gotten the praise that you deserve, let me reflect over the past year. There has indeed been a new video every Wednesday. That's been the case from the beginning. It hasn't been easy, I'll be honest. It's been extremely hard at times, but I feel it's important to keep that streak alive. I don't know how things will be years in the future, but I promise, for the upcoming weeks and months, as long as I feel like they're still bringing value, I will do everything in my power to keep it up. In fact, tomorrow, it's a Wednesday. I guess I'm turning this into part of the tradition, because much like last year, I do have an unreleased video that was completed in January of 2018. I'm gonna finally release it tomorrow as part of this celebration. I take it as a rare opportunity to look back at how the videos have changed over time while watching something that's never been seen before. The topic has actually been requested quite a bit too, so some of you may be waiting for it, and I'm sorry you've been waiting for so long. Alright, you know, I thought this was interesting. I was looking back at my 2-year anniversary video, and in that, I say that I was looking back at my 1-year anniversary video. It's a chain that keeps on going, and according to myself in those videos, at the end of year 1, the subscriber count was 270,000. Then at the end of year 2, it was 550,000. I made this graph showing how year 2 was actually better than year 1. Well, I made another graph. The current subscriber count is 830,000, meaning year 3 was exactly the same as year 2, which was better than year 1. I cannot believe how consistent it's been. This channel goes up and down all the time, but it's actually reassuring to see how level it's been year to year. So to the, wow, 280,000 people that became part of the channel over the past year, welcome. It was actually in that 2-year anniversary video when I first announced CompanyManIdeas.com. That's my website where anyone can submit and vote on future video ideas. It has since become what I would consider to be a bit of a hit and a big help in deciding topics for new videos. And I want to mention this, it was created by someone that I met through the channel named Chad from Fullerton Media, and I encourage everyone to check him out at chadfullerton.com. I put a link to him in the description of every video. He has been nothing but kind and helpful to me and can make a good website too. Over 1 year, it's received over 3,000 unique video ideas, and I couldn't even tell you how many votes. I use it too. It's become an influence in almost all of my video topics, but I can tell you specifically, the ones about Unilever, IBM, GameStop, NASCAR, Red Lobster, Starbucks, Hot Topic, Nickelodeon, AOL, and many others came directly from the website. And the idea for my newest series about the most hated companies came from from there. So I just want everyone to know that I appreciate all of your participation over there, and you should most definitely continue doing it. Alright, I don't know what else to say other than it's been an amazing year. It's hard to measure, but 52 new videos, 280,000 new subscribers, and a helpful new website? I couldn't possibly expect it, but if year 4 is anything even close to this last year, I would have no complaints. I'm going to be doing whatever I can on my end to continue to make that happen. It'd be great if you all stuck around and keep doing your part, and nothing can make me happier if we can just keep it all going. I hope I'm doing alright. I never know what to say in these anniversary videos. They're so much different from what I'm used to, and it all makes me nervous. I made this post on the community tab talking about the big anniversary and seeing what you wanted me to talk about. There were a few replies that stood out to me, so I figured I'd feature them here. Okay, here we go. Video idea, company man, the rise again, and rise some more. Believe it or not, I actually see this comment quite often. I guess the idea is that some of you want me to make a special video basically talking about how I built this channel. My answer is maybe I'll do it at some point, but honestly, it's just uncomfortable for me to talk about myself, and I feel like someone else should make that video. It's a little strange for me to give commentary about my own channel. With that being said, I'm sure there's a way I could work it out, but hey, until then, if someone else wants to try it, I would happily watch it. I would like to see your series on fads return. I would too. They're referring to these 5 videos I made about different fads, the last of which is already about a year and a half old. I think the issue with it is that everyone likes the idea of the series, but then when I release the video, it's not the best response. Plus, I much prefer finding fads that are linked to a particular company. Considering the nature of the channel, I think that's how it works best. So I'm open to it, but I do feel like the audience may be happier if I focus on other things. Which video was the funnest to make? Which company's history have you found the most interesting? I would say that the most fun was my video about Nickelodeon, because I used to love that channel. But I'm honestly not thrilled about how it turned out. Taking something creative like that and trying to explain its success or failure is tricky because there's no definitive answers. And then the most interesting history has to be U-Haul. If you haven't seen that video, you're in for a surprise. Have you been contacted by any companies asking you to tell their history or maybe to take a video down? 3 years of weekly videos and not a single company has ever contacted me, not any of the large ones anyway. I guess sometimes their Twitter account will like or reply to something, but that's about it. And you know what? I hope it stays that way. You should make a logo redesign. I don't know where that comes from, but I actually really like the logo. I just looked back at the date, and it turns out I created that silhouette the day before I started this channel, and I think it works. It fits in with the channel's name, it gives me a bit of a visual representation, and it's actually taken from a picture of me, so I feel like it makes things a little more personal. My guess is that it will forever be associated with this channel. Since this is primarily a voice-over style channel, what's the progression of microphones that you've used for recording these videos over the years? The answer is absolutely no progression whatsoever. I used this Blue Yeti USB mic that I bought from Best Buy for $150 right before I started this channel, and I'm talking into the exact same one right now. That's the thing, it's not about the money that you spend or the equipment that you have. Almost any improvement that you've seen from this channel over the past 3 years has nothing to do with upgrades in equipment. It's the same for almost anything. If you're missing your free throws, it's not because of the ball or the net or the shoes, it's probably because you could use a little practice. Alright, I got a little off track with that one. Are you going to do the same thing as last year, where you're going to unlist the video after that day? I was hoping to see this question because that's my thing. I take down these anniversary videos after about a week. In my mind, the celebration's over, and it's kind of cool because only the loyal viewers who didn't take too long to watch it actually get to see it. I will be making it unlisted, which means it won't appear on the channel, but if you copy the URL to the video and keep it somewhere, you'll be able to get to it even once I take it down. There's a little tip for you. Just don't repost it anywhere because that's disrespectful. What is one company that you wanted to talk about but decided not to for various reasons? It's actually not uncommon for me to start working on a video and then completely abandon it. I hate it when that happens too because the time was wasted and now the clock is ticking to find something new. The main reasons that can happen is if I feel like it's a bit of a thin story and there's not much to talk about, or if there's too much story and it would be hard to fit it into one of my typical videos. Recently, it was Planters Nuts. I thought that can be interesting, but there was less there than I thought there would be. On the other end, Lehman Brothers got too involved. I could not not figure out a good way to do it without outlining the entire 2008 financial crisis. They're not completely ruled out, but definitely on hold for now. Alright, we can keep going with this, but I feel like that's good. Hopefully that was enough for you to at least get an idea of the mentality behind these videos and what's going on behind the scenes. I do want to say that a lot of these replies were simply compliments. It's enough to be overwhelming, and I hope you know that I truly do appreciate all of it. It has been another great year. We're 3 for 3 so far, and at this point, I'm just anxious to see what happens in year 4. So let me know in the comments. It's almost a habit to say it at this point, but this one's more personal. Some of my favorite comments of all time talk about how this channel has impacted people's lives. Now, I'm realistic. I realize that it probably isn't a major impact for most people, but I hope to think that it's something. I've had teachers tell me that they show my videos in class. Someone told me that they were sick and my videos helped them get through it. One guy got a Jeopardy answer right because of something he learned from me. Now, I don't know how much I believe this, but people have told me that I helped them decide their college major. However big or small, I love hearing how what I'm doing fits into someone else's life. We have such a one-way relationship, so if this channel has impacted you at any time in any way, I want to hear about it. So for the final time in this video, thank you for all the support, thank you for turning this channel into what it's become, and as always, thank you for watching.